Okay, we will start with courtesy bow. Yoi. And this is JSKA Saturday morning class, January, is it the 30th? I think it's the 30th or 29th, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to be working on, today we're going to work on, we're going to start with some stretching drills. I'm also going to be covering something which is how to tactically stand up if you're on the ground. About 78% of the fights end up on the ground. So we're going to talk about how to safely, tactically stand up if you end up on the ground. And then we're going to go into something that Sensei has been working on as well. And that is movement backwards into different stances. And then we're going to wrap up class with working on Heian Shodan, but we're going to do it backwards. So let's first start off with some arms. So ich, ni, some, shi, go, ro, ku, ju, wash, ni, some, shi, go, ro. Met somebody here. Shi, hach, ku, ju, back and forth. Ni, some, shi, go, ro. Arm at a 90-degree angle. And pull it across your body. Hold it. Grab your elbow up across the top of your head. Pull it down, hold it. Opposite side, 90 degrees. Over the top. Down, reach over top of your head and stretch. And switch. All right. Legs double shoulder width apart. And reach down. On this one too, when you're stretching, especially when you're stretching your upper body towards your lower body, one of the things to keep in mind is it's not the idea of trying to pull your head down, because you don't really want to round your back. When I round my back by trying to get my head down towards my knees, it puts a lot of pressure on my lower back and vertebrae. And I really want to focus that stretch on my hamstrings. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that my back is flat. So if you feel your back right now, I should feel that my back is flat. I keep my head up and then I start dropping my upper body down, continuing to keep my back flat, because obviously we want to stretch that back out, but we don't want to put a lot of pressure on those lower vertebrae as well. So we're going to kind of reach down, keeping that back flat. Then I'm going to roll over to one side. It's either right or left. And then roll over other side. Hold it for a 10 count. Then straight up. Keep my left leg locked, right leg down. And once again, good posture, just like if we're dropping down in a stance, good posture up, and I'm going to drop down. Wherever your level's at, if your flexibility level is not good, then make sure you can put your hand on top of your thigh, on both thighs, and that can kind of give you a little bit of support as you're dropping down. Back straight, up, and then I'm just going to focus my stretch on this inside leg. And I don't know if you can see because I'm shadowed here, but my foot is flat on the ground as well. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to roll onto the ball of my foot. Good front kick position. Block this back leg out with your arm. And then I'm going to reach down. And once again, I'm going to roll my body, my upper body, I'm going to roll that towards my front leg. And then kind of pretend that there's a cord attached to my chin, and I'm going to pull my upper body forward rather than roll down and try to get my head down there and bounce. I'm going to try to roll and focus that stretch on that hamstring. So itch, knee, breathe. Don't forget to breathe out. Some, shi, go, hoku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. Now, if you get to a point where you're really tight, one of the things that you can do is you can squeeze and tighten that leg muscle. Squeeze, 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 hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then let it go. And then that will help you to loosen those hamstrings. Then once again, roll back onto that foot. Good posture, straight up. Then once again, I'm going to drop down and I'm going to hit the other leg down. Good. You can use that. Like I said, you can use this leg for balance, the floor. Just make sure you keep a good posture and keep that inside stretch. Same thing. I'm stretching the inside of my leg. If I get to a point where it's super tight, tighten that muscle group up and then relax. Roll over, ball of the foot, block that leg out. Good front kick position. And then once again, I'm going to pull my chin forward versus trying to roll it over. Pull that chin forward. Itch. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Up. My legs are double shoulder width. I'm going to walk forward, keeping my legs locked. Go on the inside of my feet, and I'm going to push my hip up towards, push my hip down, towards the floor, and then arch my back. Good stretch for Saturday morning. Hold it. Good. Now relax. You're going to let your feet come in. Now, if you can get them to touch, great. If they're here, fine. Here, fine, great. But try to bring them in as close as possible, and then you're going to push your hips straight back. Try to get a deep stretch on those hips this morning. So you're going to push back, and then I'm going to roll my hips forward. And as I'm rolling my hips forward, I'm arching my back. So push my hips forward and arch. You should feel that right in your hip sockets. And then roll my hips back. Itch, knee, some, shi. Hold it. And forward. One of the things that a lot of people forget to do as they're stretching, if they feel that pull, they have a tendency to hold their breath, right? So we want to make sure that we continue to breathe through these actions. Nice, slow, steady breaths, and then back. Then I'm going to go on the balls of my feet, stretch my balls of my feet out. Just a light stretch here. And if you don't feel like you're getting a good stretch, what I do is I'm just going to push my knees a little bit further forward. See if I can stretch those toes out a little bit. Rock. And then in between. And once again, depending on your flexibility level, if you're up here, that's fine. Just make sure, try to keep your back flat, support yourself. So you feel that stretch, and then if you feel that you need a little bit more stretch, you can go back as far as necessary and make sure you're stretching out the tops of your feet and the tops of your legs too as well. Rock. Okay, then we're gonna go up to our hands and knees. And you can put whatever leg you want forward. In this case, you put your right leg forward. And just so you can see what I'm doing is, I'm going to take my elbow, and this is going to be a deep stretch in your hip. So I'm going to take my elbow, and I'm going to place it down towards the floor. So depending on your flexibility level, you may be here, or even if you're fairly flexible, you can get that towards the floor. As I do that, if you notice, my back leg drops to the inside of my knee and the inside of my foot. So what I'm going to do is take a breath out, breathe, and then I'm going to slowly put that elbow down towards the ground. And then hold it, itch, knee, some, shi, go, ro, shich, hach, ku, ju. Roll, and then now we're going to go to the other side. Leg up, good posture, drop down. I go to the inside of my knee, inside of my leg. My elbow comes down, and then I'm pushing it down towards the ground. Itch, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shich, hach, ku, ju. Good. Take it. Left leg forward. Once again, good posture. This leg's going to come inside, leg flat, and then I'm going to push myself forward, right? Rather than bouncing, trying to get my head down to my knee, I'm going to push my arms forward towards my foot and then pull my upper body forward. And then deep breath in, slow breath out, itch, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shich, hach, ku, ju. Hold it. Good. Now you're going to take this leg, the one you just stretched, this leg on the inside, and you're going to wrap it over the top. Roll in. This is the outside of your leg. So in this case, this may be your left leg or right leg. Basically, you're going to, whatever leg is up, you're going to take that opposite arm, wrap it around your knee, and you're going to roll towards the outside of your body this way. And itch, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shich, hach, ku, ju. All right, switch, much. Other leg forward, good posture, leg flat, reach forward and pull. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Itch, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shich, hach, ku, ju. Wrap. Go forward, outside of my leg, whatever leg this is, opposite arm, wrap it and twist. Itch, knee, don't forget to breathe. Some, shi, go, Rok, Shich, Hach, Ku, Ju. All right, butterfly position in. Grab your legs. And a lot of people bounce, but once again, remember, you're stressing those tendons and ligaments by bouncing back and forth. So what we want to do is, I like to grab the tops of my feet or my ankles, and then as I grab them, I lean back, pull it in as tight as I can, and then I put my elbows on the inside of my legs. And once again, as you're leaning forward, the tendency is, hold your breath. So deep breath in, slow breath out, and lean forward and push those legs down and apart. Ich, ni, some, shi, go, rok, shich, hach, ku, ju. Now I'm going to grab my toes, elbows towards the outside of my legs. Deep breath in, slow breath out, and lean. Ich, ni, some, shi, go, rok, shich, hach, ku, ju. All right, legs forward. Loosen them up a little bit. Okay, from the ground position, one of the things that I wanted to be able to share with you this morning was about standing up when you're on the ground. A lot of times as martial artists, we focus on techniques standing up, throws, and not many times do we spend a lot of time with on the ground. About 70 or 80% of the confrontations that happen end up on the ground. Our first reaction to getting up when we're knocked down to the ground is to plant both legs. Obviously, if you're ever on the ground watching TV or stretching out, our first instinct is to kind of stand up like this. We plant both hands down, kind of get up, and of course, this is going to be age dependent. If you're 20, you probably hip kick and stand right up, or 15. But if you're in the over 55 club like I am, or over 58 club like I'm in, you may have a tendency to get up a little bit slower. So in this case, if we think about it in a tactical situation where we've just gotten knocked down, we've tripped, we've fallen over an object, most confrontations don't happen in a wide open environment with us wearing a gi. We have clothes, shoes, etc. on. So in this case, obviously, as you know, is if we stand up this way by planting both hands or planting one hand, sticking the other hand out, we're going to be in a very precarious situation to get knocked back over and somebody to get on top of us and start hitting us, etc. So as soon as you get knocked down to the ground, you need to get to one side of your body. It does not matter which side that you get to. Instinctually, you want to get to the side you feel a little bit more comfortable with. So it doesn't matter. I'm facing the screen, so if it doesn't matter if this is your right side or your left side. As soon as I get knocked down, I'm going to get up to on my arm and elbow this way. The next thing that happens is my base leg, whatever side I'm on, this is going to be brought in tight to my bottom. So once again, it doesn't matter the side you're on, this leg is going to be brought in. The next thing that happens is about my hand. Your reaction, your initial reaction is going to be to put this hand up in a defensive posture and push up on this to try to raise up. The problem with this is that when most people are on the ground, there's a high propensity for people to want to kick you. It means that there's basically most people, if you're on the ground, they're going to want up to kind of kick you or attack you. If my hand is up with my hand facing me and they go to kick and you go to block, unless you are fisting it and getting a good block in, your natural flinch response is to throw that hand up. If they kick you, those knuckles and the back of your hand where those small bones are at are going to come barreling at your face. you're either going to end up breaking your hand or you're going to end up fracturing your small facial bones or your eye socket because of that. So in this case, when I get down to this position, my first instinct is I need to get up as quick as possible. Get up on my arm, tuck this in. This hand comes up and faces me. It's going to be slightly out, around a 45, less than a 45-degree angle, because if I stand up and they go to attack or kick me and they end up kicking into my hand, then now I have the soft part of my hand coming into my body versus all my knuckles and small bones. So leg in, I'm on the arm, my hand comes up. This is going to be my weapon that I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to use either side kick, round kick, hook kick, and I want to go to the nearest target of their body. That's going to be anything from the hip and below. If I try to kick up high, here or here to their groin, once again, I'm opening up this whole level for attack, this whole area for attack, with the possibility, if I don't get that kick out fast enough, that they can grab it and then move to the inside. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to try to attack that knee, either sideways, around, in either direction. The knee takes about 8.5 pounds per square inch to dislocate that knee. So it's not going to take a lot of force to blow out their knee. My base foot can either wrap behind their leg and I can push and kick, once again, dislocating that knee, or I can keep that tucked up underneath. Now, generally, my opponent, that attacker that's coming in towards me, he may not just come straight in. He may try to cut the angle. So I have two choices. Once I get to this position, I can either roll on my side in either direction, or I can switch. So before we try the switch, what I'd like everybody to do, and everybody's in a small screen, so I'm hoping that I can see far enough that everybody's kind of doing what I'm doing. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to your back, and then I want you to pop up to either side into this position. This leg is going to be tucked, and this leg is very, very important. So once again, on your back, and pop up. Check, make sure you check. Is my leg close to me? Is this leg up, ready to attack? Is this hand towards me? And down, and up. Down, up. Now, you're in this position, I want you to start rotating on your hip. Quick rotate. Once again, I'm staying on that arm. Quick rotation on the arm. Quick rotation on the arm. Right? And rotate. You can switch to your other side. Leg up. Rotate. And rotate. Now that we're in this position, what I'd like you to do is I want you to throw a couple kicks out. Kick, kick. Now, if we were in person, what I would do is I would have some kick pads and we'd go around and make sure you moved around so you're getting the force of the kick. You can practice at home with someone else holding up a pillow, or if you have a kick pad, or even just them standing there a distance away where you're practicing your kicks. So I'm going to roll, kick, 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 kick. You're going to keep them off of you and rotate. The next one is switching by rolling over. So if you have your attackers here and they're coming around to try to get your backside, rather than trying to rotate on your hip, or if you're on gravel or concrete or something else, we're going to do a switch. So basically in this case, all I'm going to do is roll to my other side. As I roll to my other side, this hand immediately comes up, and I hope everybody can see me. I'm going to roll. So this leg comes up. As I roll, this hand immediately comes up, and I roll to the other side. So whatever side you're on now, let's just practice a couple of switches. Itch. Nice and quick. Couple kicks. Itch. Switch. Kick, 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 kick. Switch. Kick, kick. Kick, kick. Switch. And switch. Good. Anybody have any questions so far? If you do, please speak up. I think everybody's on mute, but I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see it. But if you do have a question, feel free to ask. Okay, now from this position, we need to get up, and we need to get up quickly. Once again, as we spoke about, I'm not going to do a double hand plant to try to stand up. So what I'm going to do instead is try to get an angle where you can see me. From this position, we're going to do it slow-mo first. This leg plants in front. As I'm planting and rolling, this back arm, the support arm, is going to straighten. So I'm going to roll and plant this. Now, I don't want to plant this too far forward. I'm just planting it forward enough that it's almost a little bit as a 90-degree position or greater. So just a little bit there. Once I'm here, if you notice, as I begin to stand up, this arm, that's protecting me, is going to stay here. So I'm going to plant here. Now this support leg, I've got two support systems, this leg and this arm. Once I'm here, if you notice, I'm going to pop. Now, if everybody goes with me, push up with your leg or your arm, put pressure on your leg, and that's going to lift your hip up. So once you're here, this leg is going to pull back and up, back and up. Now I stand up. Now I'm back in kamae position, fighting position, defensive position. So let's do that again. I'll switch sides for people that might be on their other side as well. I'm here. My foot goes forward. I pop up on this back arm here. This leg, once I do that, this leg is going to be free. So then I'm going to plant it behind me and go straight up. If you notice, I'm trying to raise my body straight up to keep my center of gravity above my hips versus trying to roll my body this way, because if I get pushed, kicked, assaulted, right, I'm easily going to get knocked over. So this position, roll, once again, pop that hip up, straight up in the air, roll that leg back. Now we're in a guard position. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do it a little bit smoother and try to make it one count. So we're here, we're in our defensive position, plant, push, up, and then down. And up, down. Roll, plant, plant, push, and down. Now, one thing you probably noticed is as I pushed and stood up, my hand went from this position to now this position. Because now, whatever techniques I choose to do, I can. So let's go again. And then I'll take a peek at you folks and see how you're doing with it. So it's up and down. Okay, now let's go from our backs. We'll do it slowly first. 1, side position, and up. 2. Down to your backs. I'm going to take a peek. Good. Roll over, side position. Hand towards you. Up. Good. And down. Back. Side. Up. Good. Everybody, I think, has got the hang of it. Now, I'm going to count, and we're going to do it 5 times, and we're going to do it dynamically. So we're going to pretend that you get knocked down. The quicker that you get up, the quicker that we can defend ourselves. So everybody on the ground, on your backs. Ready, go. Up, 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 grab fast, 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 fast. Good, down. Nice job so far. And up, 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 quick, 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 quick. Down. Up. Good, down. And last one. Up. Good. You may relax for a second. Does anybody have any questions with that at all? Ask if you have any questions with it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary.
So when people get someone down to the ground, they're going to be kicking them.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess the question is, you're going to expect that. You're trying to get out of the way. And if they do get that kick in, you want it to be in a place you can accept it with least amount of injury.
Yes. Yeah. You want to, the biggest thing is I do not want to get kicked in the head. I mean, your adrenaline's going to be flowing, and you're going to be able to take a lot of strikes to your upper body, even to your legs, if they're kicking, punching, or whatever. But when I have the cage upstairs rattled by punches or kicks, then I'm going to become submissive. I just won't be able to. It's going to incapacitate me. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I need to protect my head. If I'm on the ground and you do get to your back, mm-hmm. and that person, and that can be another class or another discussion, is what do I do if somebody approaches me and mounts me, top mount, side mount, or whatever? I want those hands. If I'm on my back and they're already down, grounding and pounding me, I want those hands facing me. And I'm sure probably most of you probably had this in some discussion at some point or another. But I want my hands facing me, because when those hands are coming in, I want to be able to, protect my face. And then once I get to that standing position, I can flip it over.
Okay.
So some people can get up quicker than others. The idea is we want to try to get to our back to our feet, where all of us as martial artists, we feel the most comfortable standing up. That's where our forte is at. But once we get down to the ground, a lot of martial artists their brains close down. And we have to keep things simplistic. We have to, when an attacker comes, when an attack comes upon you, we lose fine motor skills and complex motor skills when our blood pressure goes up. In other words, if somebody teaches you a motion that's 5 techniques in a row to get out of a hold or something like that, your brain's going to shut down, and it's only going to be able to pick out pieces of it unless you train and train and train and train until it becomes a habitual skill. Mm-hmm. So to answer that question a little bit more, is we want to keep things with big gross motor skills. So that standing up, that arms in our naturally defensive posture, and just by tweaking it a little bit and bringing that hand forward, we want to try to get up and kick their legs, kick their knees, try to keep them off of you as soon as possible until there's an opening where you can pop back up. So.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. Any other questions at all that anybody have? Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna kind of go on to, hopefully when I was chattering there, everybody had a chance to get a quick drink. If you didn't, grab a quick drink while I'm talking. We're now gonna work on something that Sensei has been working on, and it's certainly something that I have benefited from, and I certainly need help with as well. So we'll try to see if we can improve these skills together, and that's moving backwards in stances. So what we're going to be doing is We're going to be dropping backwards in stances, and we're also going to be working on different angles too as well. So we'll start off with Yoi, Maite, and then stepping forward off of your left side. Get number right. It's me. Yo. Okay, so we're just gonna work on stances right now. We may or not add in some arms. So all I'm gonna be doing is working backwards, and we're gonna be changing stances. So I know we've been working backwards in working Zenkutsu backwards and other things, and I'm not sure Mary may have worked on different stances, but we'll kind of play off that one. So I'm gonna go from a Zenkutsu, and then I'm gonna go from a Zenkutsu Dachi back into Kokutsu Dachi. So once again, for me, what I'm trying to focus on is I'm trying to focus on that inner tension between my back leg and my front leg. I'm trying to squeeze, and then as I'm squeezing, I'm going to push to lock those legs out. So we're going to go from Zenkutsu backwards to our back stance Kokutsu Dachi. So we'll start slow. Ich. And then from Kokutsu Dachi, we're now going to go into Kiba Dachi. Ni. And then back, I'm not sure how much room you have. If you need to move up, you can. Now we're going to go back to Kokutsu. Once again, that inner tension, driving that leg back. Knee. And then back towards Kokutsu. Some. Or excuse me, Kiba. And then over to Kokutsu Dachi. Some. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me turn on this other light so you can see me. All right, so let's go ahead and face the other way again. We're going to face, my back is going to be towards you, so you can face backwards, so you can move back towards your video. We'll start with a Zenkutsu Dachi. So nice and slow. Ich. We're going to go from Zenkutsu to Kokutsu. Ich. Good. Once again, as you're moving back, you need to weight that leg. From Kokutsu, we're now going to work into Kiba Dachi. Knee. Back to Zenkutsu, Sam. Kokutsu, Shi. And then off to Kiba Dachi. Go. Now you notice when I'm moving backwards from Kokutsu Dachi, I want that squeeze to happen. Many cases, I've seen some students, they try to swing this leg around to go into Kiba Dachi, right? So instead, I want to have that compression. That's why we're doing it slow. I want you to feel that compression in your legs. So you're going to weight that back leg. And from Kokutsu Dachi Kiba, I'm going to weight that back leg. And then my hips twist into place. Okay? So from this position, we'll start with Kokutsu. Hands relaxed. Ich. Kiba. Good. Back into Zenkutsu. Some. Right? Turn that leg. I'm pivoting my hips. Chi. Once again, back into Kokutsu Dachi. Go. And plant. As I land, remember, I'm gonna set. Right? I'm going to set my hips. Try not to keep them straight. I'm going to set those hips, right? So I can settle into my stance. Now back into Kiba Dachi. Go. Turn, pull, lock the hip. Once again, into Zenkutsu, ich, and land, plant. Shi, Kokutsu Dachi. And then now back into Kiba Dachi. Squeeze, go. And twist and land. Okay, now turn your back. And we're going to go backwards again. Mix it up a little bit. I'll call it out, and then you move. Once again, hands relaxed. We're going to go from Zenkutsu Dachi to Kiba Dachi. Squeeze. Feel that inner tension. Roll, 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 and then lock your stance into place. Feel grounded. From Zenkutsu to Kiba. Ich. Land. Good. Sure you're settling in. Back into Kokutsu Dachi. Go. Back into Kiba Dachi. Ro. Now back into Zenkutsu. Shich. Back into Kokutsu Dachi. Go. Focus. Now into Zenkutsu, squeeze, itch. Zenkutsu Dachi. Kiba-dachi, squeeze, go. Rotate and lock. Kiba-dachi, back into Kokutsu. Roke, squeeze, land. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna yell out some things. So find yourself towards the back of your camera or facing the camera, whatever which way you wanna go backwards on. You ready? Good, deep Zenkutsu. Going backwards. Zenkutsu Dachi, back into Kokutsu Dachi, itch. Good. Good. Remember, deep, right? We want to stay high. Don't stay high in your stance. Drop right down in there. Work your legs today. Back into Kiba-dachi. Go. Nice. Plant. Good. Feel that tension out to lock your feet into the ground. You need to be grounded and rooted to the on your stance. Back into Kokutsu Dachi. Roke. Good. Remember, you're moving backwards. Shich. Back into Zenkutsu. Good. Looks like everybody's back towards the back of the room. Wash. So your back is facing me. So you can come backwards towards me. Remember, you're moving backwards. One more time. Moichido kudasai. Back into Zenkutsu. Itch. Move. Itch. Back into Zenkutsu Dachi. Itch. Good. Kokutsu Dachi. Knee. And then Kiba-dachi. Sam. Turning. Mate. Turn towards me. Yame. And yoi. Good. Grab a quick drink. Any questions with that? Some real basic movement. I know it's something that I always seem to need work on. So I'm not jack in the boxing, right? I have a tendency sometimes to lean with my hips and then jack in the box. So, all right, and grab a quick drink, and when we come back, we're going to come back and we're going to start working some angles on our stances for a few minutes, review that, and then we're going to go and work on Heian Shodan backwards. All right. Mate. Yoi. Right there. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to work different angles. So we're going to be stepping back using just our left legs. I'm in instructor mode, so my right leg, but you're going to be stepping back with your left legs. So stepping back with your left leg, get umbarai. It's me. You. Okay, so what we're going to do is from this position, I want to step back with my right leg, avoiding that incoming attack. So I'm going to step back on a 45-degree angle, get umbarai. So this leg is going to squeeze. Watch first. It's going to squeeze, and then I'm going to shoot that leg back into a 45-degree, into a Zenkutsu. So from this position, it's squeeze and block. Okay, so with me, itch, get umbarai, and then now back towards center. Knee, squeeze, and land. Make sure your hips are opening up on those blocks. Sheet. Back 45, itch. Knee. Now, next position is we're going to go from this position to 90 degrees, which is going to be straight off this leg. So from here, we'll start slow. I'm going to cover, and this leg I'm going to squeeze together. Remember, something I also have to focus on is making sure that leg stays bent, right? And the other thing is when we're going towards this 90-degree angle, here, we squeeze, and that leg shoots back to open up, and I plant. So I squeeze inner pressure. When I land, I put that outer pressure out. One of the things I see is when people are switching to 90 degrees, they have a tendency to do that little toe point, which is this. They turn, and if you notice, they kind of reach with their toes, and you see what starts happening with my upper body. Plus everything's on this leg. So instead, I want to keep this core tight and straight up. And then I'm squeezing, inner thigh squeeze, right? Tension, weight that leg, and then shoot that leg back into a Gadambarai. So we're going to go 90 degrees. Ready? Ich. Back to facing, knee. Ich. Knee. Now we're going to go to Agiyuke. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Okay, now let's go from this stance. We're going to go 90 degrees off. We're going to go into Kokutsu Dachi Shutoki. Ich. Then back towards the center. Kokutsu Dachi Shutoki. Knee. Ich. Knee. Next is going to be dropping back on a 45. Kiba Dachi. Uchiyuki. So we're going to do an Uchiyuki into a Kiba Dachi. Ready? Ich. Knee. Once again, inner tension. Ich. Knee. Yame. Other side now. Drop back with your other leg, your right leg. Ready? Kind of get the idea. Gadambarai. Ich. Now 45. Knee. Back straight. Ich. Knee. Ich. Forward straight. Now we're going to drop back to Agiyuke. Ich. Knee. Squeeze, concentrate on that stance. Ich. Knee. Good. Shutoki. Shutoki. Ich. Squeeze. Land. Knee. Ich. Knee. Kiba Dachi Uchuki. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Yame. Yoi. Any questions so far with that? Just working on basic stance movement. Now, from this position, what we're going to do is we're going to drop back to a Zenkutsu. We're going to go from the Zenkutsu Dachi, and we're going to go almost 180 degrees around, so about 270, or excuse me, less than 270, less than 180. We're going to come off, and we're going to go straight back on an angle, so greater than 90, but not quite all the way around to 180. Okay, so from this position, I'm going to shoot my hips, squeeze as I'm moving, and then shoot that leg out. I'm going to have that expansive right? Expansion, pressure out this way. So with me, nice and slow to start, and we'll add in some blocks. So Zenkutsu, right leg forward, ich, back knee. Right, that attack is coming through. We're going off on that angle. So good Zenkutsu. Ich, knee. Once again, focus on, what we've talked about today is keeping that body upright, right? Squeeze, ich, push, knee, ich, knee. Switch much, other leg forward. Same thing. Squeeze, push and lock those legs out, right? Don't just pirouette, right? We're not pirouetting and toe pointing. We want that inner leg squeeze and then push out. Ready? Hitch. Knee. Hitch. Knee. Hitch, squeeze. Push, knee. Hitch. When I'm coming back forward on this, after I've done my angle, when I'm coming back towards that, make sure you're squeezing your legs, right? So when I come and I'm pivoting on that, I'm squeezing here, glancing and turning. Make sure that when I'm coming back to this position, I'm compressing those legs and using that compression, and then boom, expansion, and lock my legs down. A couple more times. Ready? H. Knee. H. Knee. もう一度ください。H. Knee. やめ。よい。Any questions at all? Yes.
Really just a quick question. Are you
Yes.
turning on your toe or on your heel?
For me, I'm kind of turning on, feel like I'm turning on my toe. I'm on carpeting, so it may vary a little bit, but I feel like when I'm rotating on the front half of my foot. So when I'm squeezing here, but when I actually do the rotation, I'm rotating on my toe or
Okay.
my front pad of my foot. So
Okay, I do too. Thank you. I just want to
Yep.
confirm. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on for the last part of class, and I'm not sure if anyone's worked on this before, but is we're going to do Heian Shodan, and we're going to do it backwards. One of the things that I found out by working my katas backwards is it really helps me to analyze my stances. If you have a big area at all, or when you get to a big area, one of the things I would probably suggest you do is, if you haven't done it already, is to do your kata with your eyes closed. It makes it very interesting to do that, because it really works on your balance. At least for me, I find out when I'm doing my kata with my eyes closed, and of course no nearby objects or breakable objects or small furry animals, it really helps a lot with movement and my stances as far as keeping myself balanced. So I'm gonna face my back towards you, and we're actually gonna start with the last movement and work forward. Has anybody else done Heian Shodan backwards? Is this something that you've done in the past, or just, you can throw your hand up if you have. Mary, good. All right, excellent. All right, let's get started. My back is going to be towards you. So I can adjust my screen down a little bit so you can see me. Okay. Yoi. Komete. Heian Shodan, backwards. Okay, last motion, off to the 45-degree angle. Kiba Dachi, Shutoki. Pitch. I'm just doing this nice and relaxed till we get the motions. Next motion is going to be straight off my right arm. Some. Then off to a 45 this way. Shi. And then back to 90. Go. Okay, Amen. Let's start with that again. Once again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, just right from my day position. Last motion, itch. Good. Make sure you're focusing on, remember, that inner tension of those legs and landing. Knee. Some. Cover. 45. Shi. Back to 90. Yame. Mo ichido. One more time. H. 1. Knee. 2. Some. 3. Shi. 4. Okay, everybody got it? Kind of throw your thumbs up at me if you got those first motions or we need to do them again. If you kind of wave, that means we'll do it one more time, but everybody got the 4 motions? Feel good about it? Good? Yep, all right. Okay, so one more time, and then we'll move on to the next motions. So itch, knee, back 45, some, shi, back to 90. Now, our next position, right, is going to be, we're going to be going back down that eye, right? We've done the top of the eye, the ending of the eye. Now we're going to go back down towards those 3 punches. So if you remember from the kata, when we go into the shuto ukis, we do a 270-degree turn, right? We do a big turn. So in this case, when we're here, we need to go into that big turn, and rather than turning, if you remember in the kata, when we're here, right, we usually do that big turn counterclockwise. So in this position, we're going to do clockwise motion. We're going to turn towards the center of the room, inside, and we're going to come off of our shutoki up here. We're going to move and punch. Okay, let's do that one more time. Doing it in this mode, back here, rotate 270, punch. All right. So once again, start from the beginning. Itch, nice and light. Knee, some, shi, and then turn, go, punch. Now we're once again, we're doing those. We've done our first punch. We have 2 more to do. Go, roke, and then now we're going to go into our downward block. Sheech, go. Okay, everybody with me so far? All right, let's try it again. It's nice and light. Itch. Knee. Some. Shi. Turning, go. Rook. Sheech. And the next motion, downward block, hatch. Now we're going off to the side with a punch. So in this case, as I'm moving towards the side to do my punch, I'm going to chamber this arm. So this one's going to chamber, come in off to this side, hatch, and then back, coup, downward block. Back to the other side now. Remember, we're at that part of the eye where we're going to chamber, punch, and block. Okay, so yame, try it again. Nice and light, right? Ich, 1, ni, some, she, turning, right, go, punch, rope, sheech, hatch. Off to the side, itch, block knee, off to the other side, some, punch, and she, go. Anybody have any questions on that so far? We're working the other side of our brains right now, so even in the midst of this, our brains are gonna second guess us a little bit. Doing okay? All right. Okay, start from the beginning again, and then we'll move on. Itch, knee, some, 45, she, 90. Turning the big turn, go, punch. Sorry, I gotta move up. Roke, another punch. Sheech, punch. Hatch, Ganumbarai. Off to the side. Mizuki, itch. Knee, Ganumbarai. Stepping back, Ganumbarai. Oizuki towards my back side. Remember, I'm going to chamber this arm. Sheech. Hatch. So now I've got to do that big turn. Remember, we're going to do that another big turn. Remember, this Ganumbarai is coming off of our Agayuke, going down the top of the eye. So now we're at the top of that eye right now, or the sideways H. We now got to come back down that towards the beginning of the kata. So in this case, I'm going to roll this leg in, squeezing, and then I'm going to cover, and I'm going to go to my Agayuke. Now, this is where the 3 Agayukes are at, right? So from this position, squeeze, itch, knee, some. Here's my last one, and then she, get out. Okay, start again. Itch, knee, remember concentrating your movement, some, she, or excuse me. Now we're going to go to our punches, right? Big turn, clockwise, itch, punch, knee, some, moving backwards, and then last one, Ganumbarai, she, backwards. Going off to the side, go, punch, back, Roku, backwards, going back this way, sheech, punch. In this case, your right leg and your right arm should be forward. So right leg, right arm, because you should be facing, obviously we're all facing the same direction. So my right leg and right arm are forward, stepping back with my right leg, Ganumbarai. So my left leg should now be forward, turning this way towards you, okay? And then we're going to be doing our punches. Itch, knee, some, she, Ganumbarai. So right now my right leg is back, left leg's forward if we're all facing the same direction. Mary, did you have a question? You're up there.
Aren't we going back into the Agayukis?
Yeah, you're right, Mary. I was overthinking it, so thanks for correcting me.
Okay.
Well, I was concentrating so much, I kind of glanced back to see who was right and left leg. I think I double dipped on those. So let's
Okay.
start again and see if we can figure it out together. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks for interrupting. I appreciate it. All right, Yoi, let's see if I can get my head wrapped around this again. So once again, Yoi, ich, shuto, ni, some, she. Right now we're gonna go back, right? Our 3 punches. 1, ich, ni, some, she. Now off to the side, punch. Get umbarai. Back off to that side, punch. Get umbarai. Now we're coming back down the eye and we're gonna do our agiyuke. So big turn. When I'm turning, I'm reaching and covering, right? I'm gonna reach and cover, ich, boom. So we should all be facing the same direction. My right leg is forward, my hand is up in an agiyuke position. So hopefully everybody's with me on it. Step back, my left leg is gonna be forward, agiyuke. And then another agiyuke. And then I'm going back into my get umbarai. So step back, right leg, get umbarai. Boom. Now from this, we're gonna go off to our right side. I need to chamber my arm, right? I'm gonna chamber my arm, punch. Now remember, this part is where we do the hammer fist. So when I step back, when I draw my stance back, I'm stepping back and I'm gonna draw my arm up into that hammer fist and down. Okay, so let's go back to the oizuki. So nice and slow, ich, draw back, hammer fist. Okay, one more time. From here, draw back, hammer fist, and then get umbarai. Let's try that motion again. From the oizuki, I'm stepping back, ich, draw, and then get umbarai. From here, I'm doing my last 2 motions. This hand, my right hand's gonna chamber. I'm moving counterclockwise towards the my couch or that way. Ich, punch, and then back, knee. And then yame. All right, how we doing? Any questions with that at all? Does it? The idea behind doing katas backwards is it's supposed to work the other side of your brain, that left brain, right brain thing. So I don't know if it does that or if it mixes me up a little bit, but it sure is good on working your stances too as well. So let's go again. Is everybody feeling good? Or I'm trying to glance back and see if everybody's on the same. I'll try to make sure I point out what leg you should be on as we're moving. So let's do it again. You right? Ich. Knee. Right, stepping back my left leg, shitoki. Off to the angle, I'm moving my right leg and I'm moving counterclockwise. Some. She. Now I'm moving clockwise. I'm gonna do my big turn to face my back, and I'm doing a punch. Go. Punch. My right leg is forward, my right arm is out. So if your right leg is forward, your right arm is out, you're in a good position. Shich. Hach. Another punch. Good. Now I'm stepping back with and going into get umbarai. Hach. Off to the side now, that way. I'm going to do my oizuki punch. Chamber my arm, ich. Knee. Good. Back across the other side. Chamber, some, oizuki. Right leg, right arm should be forward. So if your right leg and your right arm are forward, you're in the right position. Right leg, right arm. Going backwards, shich. Okay, everybody with me so far? Good. Right, left leg, left arm. I'm turning, making that big sweeping turn. I'm turning and I'm reaching and I'm going to do an Agi-uke block. So a high block. Looking over my right shoulder, itch. Knee. Some. Right leg, right arm. She, step back and upright. Then off to the side, we're going to do oizuki. Remember chamber, itch. Boom. Left arm, left leg should be forward. Left arm, left leg. Once again, here's our motion. We're going to step back, right? Big swing, hammer fist, itch, draw, up. Knee, get umbrai. Last two motions, back towards the left side, itch. Right legs forward, and then stepping back, get umbrai, knee. Yame. Yoi. So far, I think we can sneak in one more time. Any questions about that? I think what I find out on those big turns for me is when I'm doing those big turns, our bodies get so acclimated and used to going forward through our kata that, it almost becomes second nature. But then when we have to switch everything around, I sometimes find a tendency that as I'm turning, I kind of corkscrew up slightly. To do a big turn, I almost corkscrew up versus really focusing on what I'm trying to work on today is really focusing on bringing those legs and that inner pressure together. So let's do it one more time. You in? Kamite. Itch. Knee. Some. Sheep. Left leg, left arm should be forward. Big turn to the punch. Go. Rope. Sheech. Atch. Off to the side now. Itch. Knee. Get number I. Moving back towards the other side. Punch. Chamber. Go. Right leg, right arm. Rope. Get number I. Big turn now into Agi-uke. Reach and cover. Itch. Knee. Some. Shigenamurai. Off to the side. Oizuki, itch. Now here comes that movement, right, our hammer fist. So you're going to draw back. Knee, up, draw back, strike. Some. Genamurai shi. Opposite side. Punch, go. And runk. Yame. Yoi. All right. Well, I hope that wasn't all too terribly confusing. I find that when I'm teaching this sometimes and I'm trying to glance back to see where everybody's at, I have that wandering brain and I have to rethink where I'm at in the kata. So I'm sure hopefully everybody else thinks the same way. I appreciate everyone being so patient while I teach today. I don't get a chance hardly ever to do this. So I appreciate having the opportunity to be able to take advantage of it. I hope we were able to work on something together as a group, and I look forward to training with you again when Sensei Hunt comes back from his nice warm area, hopefully where he's at, and we can certainly give our hopes up that maybe sometime we can actually train in person. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, or you can always drop me an email and I'll try to answer them too as well. So
Thank you very much. Great job today.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful Saturday, everyone. Enjoy. So
You too. Bye.
All right.
Thank you. It's good exercise. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good day.
Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Mary, I think I just stopped the recording, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then that should save somewhere on my computer, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're at the beginning, you said to save it to your laptop, right? To
Yeah,
your-
I did. Yep. I hit that. And then I'm assuming I should be able to find it in the video file on my laptop.
Yes.
And do you send that out then, or?
Right now I've got it on my computer and I'll have to transfer it over to send